I think it's that reality estate like broker who has been creating a lot of good content के आ जाओ दिखा दूंगा डीमार्ट के बाहर घर चाहिए आ जाओ दिखा दूंगा and it's like just crazy, like I don't know like how internet works, like I just don't understand.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining in for today's episode of Kofluence Unplugged. Hi, I'm Maritra, Manager of Brand Marketing and Communications here at Kofluence. Now, today I'm so excited to have our guest with us, Nihal, who is the Director of Growth and Brand Marketing at APNA Jobs. They are a professional networking and job opportunities platform. We will be talking more about it throughout the episode, but we have a lot of interesting conversation ahead of us. So stay tuned. We'll be talking about all things content creation and influencer marketing. Hi Nihal, how are you doing? Welcome on the show.
Thank you so much, Aritra, for inviting me. I'm really excited for this.
Great. So, in case our viewers don't know, we are currently situated in Bangalore, and he's come down for the shoot here. And originally, he's from Gurgaon. So, how's it been? How's Bangalore treating you, Nihal?
Bangalore has always been nice. Thankfully, the weather, like you just delve into it and you just love every bits and piece. And I think even you ignore the traffic part as well. So because the weather is so beautiful, so like really no, I would say no doubts about or the city has its charm. The city I think has always been very acceptable to me. So yeah, loving it, loving every piece and bit.
That's great. Okay, so Nihal, before we dive into the deeper conversation, can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, maybe personally as well as your professional background?
Perfect. But yeah, like so. Hi guys, like I've been associated with APNA. I've been working with APNA. It's been like what 3 years almost, and looking after the growth and marketing for APNA. Prior to that, I was working with NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation. Again, looking after marketing and like something which I've been very passionate all my life as well. And born and brought up in Delhi, like did a few gigs, startups, always excited about the content creation, and it is like unleashing a true potential right now with a lot of creators and working with a lot of marketeers and always learning, always looking out for more ideas, always looking out for creative folks, always looking out for new trends which are there. And I think that's what I'm passionate and that's what excites me as well.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit more about Apna Jobs and what the company, what the brand is like?
For sure, for sure. I think it's one of those very unique companies which I uh, stumbled upon when I was looking out and I was wanted to I was wanting that I should shift from a government to again back to the startup ecosystem, and this company was actually solving a real problem of actually providing jobs. Jobs is something I think everybody like 98 99% of the janta which is there in India is looking out for jobs. They want new jobs or they are always looking out for something like, because I think that's the core of it, like everybody is working. One very great thing about Apna is they were trying to solve initially, like in when I joined, like in the initial days, they picked up the problem of blue and gray collar hiring in India, which nobody was solving. And the product was fantastic. Like the product is still fantastic, I would say. And at that time, when I saw them like literally solving, and one of the biggest innovation that they did during COVID time, we say like it's a COVID startup, and they made access to the HR like so easy. There was no, like you can directly talk to the HR, like, and I have seen personally that people getting hired in 2 hours, 3 hours, and that's the kind of impact that's the kind of uh, startup you would want to work, because you are directly able to impact a lot of lives. And jobs has been the biggest problem which is faced by every country. It's not just India, it's all the developing nations, even the developed nations. And when you're solving such a critical problem, and this problem has never been picked by the Indian startup ecosystem previously. And there have been a lot of startups, but nobody was able to solve it at a scale. And particularly for this segment, which is like where we call the Bharat audience, Apna like is doing a fantastic job there.
Right. So, piggybacking on that, how would you say Apna Jobs has leveraged influencer marketing? I mean, in the recruitment and job search ecosystem, I mean, influencer marketing, would you say it's been used a lot, or is it something that people and brands are now exploring?
I think a very interesting question. We were very late to the party, like when it comes to when it influencer marketing specifically, and we still consider ourselves as the noob of the or like that kid who's inside that room, and still learning from everyone. But one particular thing that happened, I think, again, like COVID has made or has given that platform for a lot of content creators. I think because people started consuming a lot of content. Like if you look at the screen time for an average Indian, like it has gone up to 4 to 5 hours, 6 hours as well, maybe.
It's 7 hours actually.
Oh, it's 7 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the last time I checked, like it was like around 4 to 5 hours. And if it's 7 hours, imagine you're consuming content on YouTube, Instagram, Shorts, like Snapchat. There are different platforms, and everybody is like on these platforms, and now we have threads as well. So uh your decisions are also getting influenced by the kind of content you are consuming as well. And brands, I think they started leveraging influencer marketing maybe a little early. A lot of brands, a lot of startups, we joined the party a little late. We were like still considering how should we do it, and what would be, has anyone in the jobs ecosystem have used influencer marketing, and we couldn't find a benchmark for us as well. And when we started influencer marketing, what one thing I realized that because I was very skeptical about the channel, honestly, but we started realizing that a lot of trust building is happening with the influencers, and that's where influencers like are for. I think that's what influencer stands for, because if they can influence you about a certain product, and they need to be raw with their decisions, and they need to be raw with their reactions. And I think that's where influencer marketing helped us, because imagine like in the jobs ecosystem there's a lot of scam, there's a lot of people ask for money, like we'll give you this job, we'll give you this job. There's a lot of things which are happening, and if I'm able to convince them like, hey, this is a platform for you, it's a new platform, all the jobs are verified, and if an influencer is saying it because they have used the platform for themselves, I think it just instills a lot of trust in the target audience, and they feel so connected. Okay, like I know, like this was said by this was said by this, so definitely I can like. And they play a very interesting role uh, for us, particularly what I have seen. All these influencers are like, I think, are extensions of our brand only, like if you're like partnering with them.
Right, right. Interestingly, recent studies have shown that more than 70% of consumers today purchase a product or service based on influencer or social media recommendations, right? But along with that, what we have also seen is consumers have become a lot more steadfast with everything. They are less naive. And now they prefer brand advocacy or brand democracy more than brand loyalty, right? So considering all of these factors and how trust and authenticity is a big thing with audiences now, how do you juggle the gap between say brand messaging and influencer creativity? Because of the lot of the times there might be some clashes or there might be some difference in opinions. So when you do your campaigns, how do you juggle that, those two
I think
aspects?
so. Creativity only comes when there are limitations. This is what I feel, like very strongly feel about this. Like if you give an open slate, like definitely there will be a lot of creativity, but if you put limits, if you put some variables, if you put some xyz limits, like that's where the creativity or the out of the box thinking start happening as well. And there's no straight answer to it, like how do you juggle or how do you do this. I think I've seen this personally with our brands, and like one particular piece is like where a lot of like even we went wrong initial days. about the why are we doing influencer marketing, we really need to question ourselves like what influencer marketing can entail and what all it can open for you. And your intent has to be super clear. If it's brand advocacy, if it is growth, if it is, let's say, like distribution, but you need to be super clear with that piece. Second piece, when you do that, obviously you would not want to create a perception of your brand in a way like which is going over and beyond and over promising or not aligning with your brand guidelines, like every brand. And like I think the problem with I've seen with the most of the brands and with most of the marketeers is that they don't do a deep dive of their branding, and that brand guidelines are not even objectively communicated to the influencer as well. So if it is communicated to the influencer in the first meeting, I think then only you can have a balance of both the worlds of the creativity and of your brand messaging as well. Because then only somebody can come up with the ideas. There'll be 10 ideas to be discussed. And then from there you can shortlist like what really stands, like what really suits your brand
Right.
and what will really work for the audience as well.
So, Nihal, I think most viewers and most people out there, most brands know about influencer marketing. I mean, it's more than a buzzword now. But I think performance marketing with influencer led outreach is something that's still unexplored or not that prevalent, especially in the Indian ecosystem. So, if you had to explain performance marketing to everyone, how would you explain it?
See, I think influencer marketing with performance marketing is like bazooka, like for brands. And performance marketing is primarily all your paid digital ads that you see on Facebook, Instagram, like any social media for that matter. So that's literally performance marketing where you are able to optimize campaigns, where you're able to do it in real time and what kind of ads you need to show. And you can do a lot of filtration, you can do a lot of you can show your ads to the target audience. This is like one of the drawbacks for influencer marketing because let's say if I'm going with any influencer, uh, I can just predict like okay, like my content will reach to, let's say, like only like 50 to 70% of my target audience, but I really don't know whether like if it is reaching to the right audience because it's organic, and that's the power of organic, right? Within performance marketing you can target literally like I want to focus on a person who's in Kormangla, like loves shopping, going out, going to restaurants, earns this much money, like watching, this is the interest, like there's so many filters out there. And so but the combination of two, as I said, is like a bazooka for marketeers. Because imagine right now, like what you said as well, like if I'm on the phone for 7 hours, if I'm watching content for 7 hours, I have been like, it's not just one brand that'll try to sell me things. On an average, like on a daily basis, we look at somewhere between 80 to 100 ads, right? Like, and this is, I'm talking like through SMS, through everything, like what you see on social media and everything. Uh, Now, like to cut the chase and to cut the noise among those 80 to 100 ads, if I'm watching, if I'm consuming those ads on a daily basis, I need something different out of the box. My content, my ad, my creativity literally needs to be very different from the usual ads, right? And that's where influencer comes in, and that's where influencer can really create that incremental change. Because imagine then like I can just tell you like there's an ad, somebody is saying okay, hey guys, we have a mattress like and we are selling this mattress, it is wonderful, you can sleep really well, बहुत comfortable है, like it's amazing. Now imagine that ad versus an influencer saying hey guys, I just bought this mattress, it's like one of the best mattress, and I think I'm just sleeping like, and my productivity has gone down because of this mattress, like something funny, something creative, something. And I think your CTRs, like the click through rates, people would want to click, okay, which is this mattress, what is he talking or what is she talking about. So I think that's the key difference when influencers videos can be used for performance marketing, and I'm already seeing a lot of brands doing it. Like we started doing it, and I can see a lot of D2C brands have started doing it, where they are instilling a lot of trust through these influencers and creating some amazing content, which is really helping them in scaling their performance marketing campaigns.
I think you rightly mentioned from the brand's POV. I think from the creator's POV as well, it's been a big boom in the creator economy with performance marketing. Because what we have seen at Kofluence is that we are able to pay a lot many creators now through performance marketing, especially budding influencers, nano and micro influencers. They tend to have the most engaged audience out of most of these brackets. Would you agree with that?
I think what Kofluence has done, like by creating that open marketplace for creators, where you just put out a campaign, and then like there are so many creators who are picking up that campaign, like creating content. So one thing, and I think that's what you're referring by performance marketing,
Right,
like
right.
over here with the content creators. I think that has been one amazing thing, because you're able to target like thousand odd creators in one shot, like, and these are like thousand different creatives, like different content that you are getting, and that reach is immense as well. I think uh, it it is something exciting, because I remember we just did a campaign with you guys where we were like the content creators are now able to provide jobs where they are hiring for themselves, or they know a nearby business, or they know like these are some verified jobs which you should apply, and like that content, I think that piece got picked up massively by content creators. And that's the beauty of that platform, I think, where you can create a lot of like in return, like you are able to track every bits and piece,
Yeah.
because you know, like there are thousand creators who have picked up my like campaign. They have created content, because every attribution link is there, and you're paying them like just very similar to your performance marketing.
Right.
So you have already mitigated your risk. So I think that's a very new thing which we tried with Cofluence, and really happy we were able to scale it up as well. Because one very fundamental challenge is generally these things doesn't work on scale. But with you guys, at least we were able to scale and get like almost close to 5% of our like organic growth targets from that particular campaigns. And I think one very great piece about the Cofluence platform, like, is it's very democratic in nature. It's not something that is just governed by brands, or that is just governed by influencers, and that's the beauty of that platform, because you're out there with that campaign. Whosoever wants to bid for that campaign, whosoever wants to associate with the campaign, they come. There is literally, you can track every piece. The attribution is phenomenal as well, and like you get return on every dollar spent, because as a brand marketer you are always optimizing on the cost. You're always looking out how can I get the best ROI from an influencer. And I think Cofluence really helps there, like when it comes to that piece, because let's say if my budget is like spending, let's say maybe like 5,000 per creator, like there will be a lot of content creator who would agree to it, like okay, we'll be happy to associate. And whosoever doesn't want to associate, at least they can give us the feedback, like boss, for this, like you need to pay me this, and maybe we'll be able to do that. But at least that democratic, and at least you're cutting all the middlemen, all the layers, at least like you really know what is happening. So I think that's where it helps us in the cost, it helps us in the time, it helps us in the turnaround time for closing influencers.
So, Nihal, what advice would you give brands who are now exploring performance based influencer marketing? Since you've already tried it in house, what would you say? Uh,
I think it stands very different again, like a couple of things like to everyone, like and this is our learning, like particularly your learnings could be very different, and anybody's learning would be very different from ours. Um one piece is like what kind of creators who are picking up this content, like how, if you want to go at scale, like if you want to penetrate into micro and nano influencers, I think this is the perfect platform for sure. Like and you get different content pieces. Like we were able to get like some great content pieces just from these videos, just from the micro and nano influencers when we did this at scale. uh Second is like you need to make it more interesting from a brand perspective, because this is exactly like selling to a content creator, "Okay, come partner with us." And obviously you would want, like, out of a pool of like 70 or 1,000 influencers you have like on that platform, like it's more
We
than that.
have we have close to 400K influencers at the
400K,
moment.
wow, like
Yeah.
4 lakh influencers.
Uh-huh.
uh and imagine like you're literally trying to sell as a brand. Like I would personally want like all the 4 lakh influencers should pick up my content and should post about Apna, or should, like, because you have the ability and it is all trackable. But you need to, again, there are 100 other campaigns out there, like why would they pick your campaign? And so you need to make it very interesting. It's not just money, it is also about the kind of freedom you are providing to the creator, the kind of campaign is it, like, because eventually they also want to grow with their content. And if you can give them that hope, or if they can give them that strategy, like if you do this campaign or if you do this, you can also grow with us. It's not just we as a brand, it's not just me as a brand who is growing. We would want to work with you and we would want to grow with you. So that's something to be very mindful. And the last piece is, I think, one thing which we have seen primarily, like, is again going back to the basics, chalking out what is the intent, again going back, like what kind of content and message you would want to put out. Because when there are, imagine, like thousands of creators creating this content, like if you haven't done your homework and if you haven't designed your brief in a way or very objectively, there's a very thin line, like going over and above, or there's a very thin line of missing the brand message. There's a very thin line, like the content creator will become over expressive, or like, or, and it can really disturb the campaign for you. So your creatives, your script, your content, everything should be highly defined, objectively defined, so that anyone can understand.
So we are pretty much at the tail end of the episode, and I thought we could do a small, fun, rapid and fire round with you, Nihal. Are you ready?
Yes, fire.
Yeah. Okay. So, what would you say your favorite social media platform is?
Instagram.
Why?
Damn. Like I think it's LinkedIn, I would say, like, because I've been writing a lot of content, like, and LinkedIn is somewhere, like, I think it gives you uh, a lot of it helps you actually grow as an individual, and it also, and professionally as well, like. And I think LinkedIn has been that platform for me which has been very acceptable, and it has given me a lot of friends, I would say mentors as well. So maybe I'll go with the, like, LinkedIn. And Instagram, maybe, like, because I'm just experiencing, because I've started creating content myself, so just seeing that early organic reach.
Right.
So yeah, that's why where I'm like literally stuck right now.
If you had to pick a fictional character to be an influencer for your brand, who would that be?
A fictional character, like, for Apna.
Apna, yes.
uh, I think I would just say, like, okay, it's a very difficult one. A fictional character, like, I think I don't know, like, no. I think I'll just take the help of AI.
How about Michael Scott?
Not really. Like, I would rather go with an Indian name. Like, I would rather want somebody, like, who can really touch the nerves, or who has been there. Like, so it's like, honestly, like, I would want Munna Bhai to be that character, like,
Oh,
because, like, he's fun, he's engaging, with a golden heart, and he would want to help people.
right.
But like he understand like people can't take me for granted as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'll just rather say Munna Bhai. I don't know whether it goes like really well with Apna or not, but yeah, something on those lines, like I would say.
Right. Okay. What is the most bizarre or unexpected place you have seen your brand mentioned in?
So it's not the mention we did it, in fact, and because we were just learning, we were doing some crazy work. So there's this influencer called Tharabhai Joginder,
Mm-hmm.
and he was coming up with a diss track like roasting Carrie Minati in that track,
Mm-hmm.
like. And for the first time, like a brand integrated during the rap, like where he does a rap and he mentions like download Apna in between the rap between the song. So I think, but it has been a very interesting like kind of an integration that we never thought it'll work. And like I think the ROI which we got from there was like almost like 5x or 10, like I think yeah 5x.
Okay. What is the best marketing advice you have ever received?
Stay, live, breathe your target audience.
So, Nihal, what would you say is your favorite viral meme trend of the moment?
I think it's that reality estate like broker who has been creating a lot of good content के आ जाओ दिखा दूंगा डीमार्ट के बाहर घर चाहिए आ जाओ दिखा दूंगा and it's like just crazy, like I don't know like how internet works, like I just don't understand everything can work like, but yeah, that has been like one of the top trends that I've been following.
Mhm. So, guys, I think we're at the end of the episode. Nihal, how was your experience? How
This is my
did you
first.
like?
I think this is my first podcast. Like, I really enjoyed it. Though definitely like my voice and like our energy is a little low, but I completely enjoyed it. Like, never thought like this rapid fire will come in as a surprise.
So, we are at the end of the episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Do watch out for future episodes. Press on the notification bell for future updates. Do like, comment, and share. And subscribe to the Kofluence channel. We'll see you again in the next episode. Until then, stay happy, stay kind, and keep Kofluence.